The guy we're going to talk about today is a guy named Guy Debord. He was this French thinker, philosopher that published an essay in 1967 called The Society of the Spectacle, which was really accurate back then, but which is even more accurate now for the society we're living in now. Remember, this was way before Instagram and TikTok, but he was able to see where society was headed. He already saw exactly the direction society was going. He warned that the images of things will slowly start replacing the actual reality of it. And he said that when this happens, we start trading and putting the images of something greater than that something itself. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how that is happening to us men right now and how spotting it could give you back a lot more control of your life right now. Guy Debord didn't say that this is just part of the culture. He said that this is basically like a full-fledged religion that we participating in. And it's not a religion that wants you to believe in God. It's a religion that wants you to believe in appearances. With commandments like look the part, show you're winning, fake it till you make it, pick so it didn't happen. And with tithes or offerings paid with your time into watching the feed of the spectacles too. Your attention and your money going straight into the feed of the religion. And the salvation for listening to this religion isn't like heaven. It's just being seen as valuable now. Let me give you like a real life example of how that is right now so you can see what I'm talking about. So we've all seen this guy at a party, like who always like fixing his sleeve so we could subtly see like a fancy watch wearing on. And he's not really fixing it like blatantly, but he doing it so many times, so quickly that it's just enough for you to know that it's not like the heat or the AC that is discomforting to him. He got that watch thinking that this watch would scream high value. And anyone who notices the watch would just pick up on it and put him on a pedestal. But in reality now, nothing in the room changes. Nobody leans into him. Nobody looks at it. Nobody asks him about the watch. The watch just cost them a lot. And across the room now, another guy might walk in. No flashy watch. Maybe just like a cheap $15 leather band that he bought. Just to put on. But this guy with the cheap $15 leather band now, he takes control and he begins to own the room. And he starts cracking jokes and making people comfortable and talking to new people and bringing new people into the same group he's talking into when on a cheaper band. So one guy spent money to buy a signal or a spectacle, and the other guy just became the signal in himself. So that right there is what Guy Debord called the society of the spectacle, where you're paying for a substitute instead of preferring the real thing. You're paying for a standing symbol called a spectacle to replace the real thing, which is the actual confidence that the thing supposed to give you. And the more we buy into this idea of the society of the spectacle unconsciously, the more we train in our own selves to like polish spectacles and worship spectacles instead of worshiping and considering the real thing itself that we could take control of. So the spectacle, the society of the spectacle religion trains us from actually being something to having something to just appearing like you have something. Because appearing like you have something is much easier and quicker according to the society of the spectacle than actually being something or having the confidence to be something. Just appearing to it is just good enough. This is what Guy Debord thought society was going into. And I think right now, after decades, we're fully there right now. And all the power from those symbols is really just in like people's perception, just like how it would be in a traditional religion. And that perception doesn't last in a hedonic adaptation will always kick in. It just might take a little longer for some things. A car might take 2-3 months. A watch might take just going out a few times with it. So that limited edition Jordan sneakers or that 2000 US Gucci shoes, the allure of it might be gone in a few weeks, and it just might become another object in your closet that's doing nothing for you, and it's just another object. But you had one point think that this object would confer on you all the supernatural powers. Worse than the hedonic adaptation that happens with the object is that your actual skills fade and your mood could diminish, and you never spend the time to actually grow the skills because you was focused on the appearance rather than the skills that would have not atrophied and might have gotten better if you had paid attention to those things. And well, here where's the good news though, is that if we could recognize this religion, this society of the spectacle, as Deborde calls it, and recognize it and call it out and name it there for what it is, recognizing it in every way possible, we could begin to relieve ourselves from the hole that it has in us. This is where my ALTER acronym comes in. Is 5 ways in which you could subtly spot the ways that this religion might be affecting you. First one, A, is for the algorithms that we expose ourselves to and how those algorithms subtly shapes our perception of things and how we should be in relation to these things. So the first step is to change the algorithm, sign into a new email account for your TikTok, for your YouTube, the Instagram, and start fresh and start focusing your feed on things that might actually save you. 2 is the likes. Stop revering a like or post that got good likes when you displayed something from the spectacle, whether it be expensive shoes, a fancy place you went to, an expensive random purchase you bought, a luxury car that you might own. T, any trends that you might be following right now, thinking that buying into these trends and this fashion would make you a better person somehow. A, again, is for appearances now. Any way in which you always polishing some spectacle that you own, or always stop trying to push up something to be in your appearance to prove a point about who you are. R is for relive, replaying an image of yourself yesterday or old version of yourself from a few years ago to tell yourself something about who you are and who you think you are and who you want to be perceived as. So basically, do any of these things from the acronym ALTER and your life will become like just a repeat version of yourself. Always playing into the spectacle, buying into the spectacle, and performing for the spectacle. The thing about the spectacle is it's not just something out there in the world which we don't have access to. It is in our algorithm feeds, our purchases, our reflexes, the things we buy daily, and the things we look at daily. It's in every time you reach for your phone and you scroll and you see the same sort of stuff, the same men putting high value stuff as on the pedestal and men degrading women for wanting high value stuff while only seeking to get high value stuff. Every scroll on the phone that looks at the same thing on your feed, that is part of the spectacle. So the trick is to just spot it. Spot the things that brainwashing you into thinking that these appearances and things is things that you need and things that you revere even in other people that you don't know, things that you push it up on a pedestal. Just start to think of it as a religion that you participating in. And the real question to ask yourself is not if this is really a religion, is more like what is the relationship you want to have with these things, these objects, these appearances. How you want to view yourself in relation to it is the more important question to ask than whether this actually is like a religion. And if it feels like easy for you to let go of some of the ways that you've been participating into the religion of the spectacle, then you will probably enjoy my book, The 48 Laws of Anti-Hypergamy. This 48 Laws of Anti-Hypergamy is basically for men who want to cut the cords completely, let go of the religion of the spectacle, and focus on building themselves from the inside out instead. But if these things to cut out might sound like difficult to do because you might have too much things that you already acquire as part of the spectacle, and you think this is merely just an observation about modern life, then fair enough. You could just look at this as an observation and just try to become more aware of how these things could negatively affect you then. In that case, just aim to let it affect you less and not letting it run the show of your life, and have a little more control in your life so that you're not sad about something that you're aiming, some appearance that you're aiming to create for yourself. Because either way, if you get the book, The 48 Laws of Hypergamy on Amazon, you could either start cutting out everything completely, building things ground up, law 1 to law 48, or you could just casually just start taking back a little control of your life by observing things that affecting you negatively. Because in the end, the spectacle always trying to sell you upgrades. Because let's say you have like a C-Class Benz and you really like that. The upgrade in the spectacle is hating your C-Class Benz and aiming to get like a E-Class or a GLC or something like that. So in the end, just becoming aware of it to make you appreciate what little spectacles that you have that serving you or think serving you at the moment, so that it could serve you for a while and serve you forever, instead of always feeling like something need to be improved in an upgrade for you to then feel better. But to be honest, every type of flashy flex with appearances with women is basically a cheat. But investing real equity in yourself and your skills is something that pays you back more in the long term. And most importantly, choosing to invest in yourself instead of your image is the thing that will always give you the highest return on your life.